How to survive off of £10. Facebook Marketplace? I'll just have a look. I mean, like, it can't hurt. It's just browsing. It's fine. Manga. Who needs food anyway? Hello and welcome back to On The Shelf, and today we have an unoriginal, albeit really exciting, manga haul. So this is from the month of October, but I'm pretty sure that there's some things that I might have got towards the end of September as well that are kind of like slipping through the cracks, because I haven't put out one of these videos in quite a while. Those who know me will understand the skit at the beginning, so I definitely have a tendency to say I'm not buying anything this month. And then I just go a bit off the rails and I buy a lot of stuff. And the reason for that is I buy a lot of pre-owned things. So I buy stuff off World of Books, I buy stuff off eBay, and I buy stuff this month at least off Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, stay tuned to see what I've got. I'm finally going to let you know what I've got for this shelf. It's a big one, so make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video. So yeah, I hope you really enjoy this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what you think of some of the things I've got. Also, let me know what you've been buying the last couple of months and what might be worth reading. But yeah, thanks again. Stay awesome. Okay, let's kickstart this manga haul with the last ever volume of Dorohedoro. Now, I absolutely love this series. I'm a few volumes behind the end of it, but I had to go and pick this up. And if you see the size of this thing, it's absolutely massive, like ridiculously big. But I'm really glad that I have this series. I'm really glad that it's completed. It's probably one of my favorite, I think it's seinen, let's say seinen. It's probably one of my favorite seinen series ever. It's just really cool, really unique, and all the characters are really fun. I'm not going to show you too much because spoilers, but yeah, pretty easy buy. It was a must-have this month. So yeah, Dorohedoro. Okay, similarly as well, I had to pick this up, and that is Berserk Volume 40. It's still in the cling film because I haven't bothered to take it out and read it yet. But this is the most recent volume of Berserk, so I'm now up to date. Again, with this, I'm a couple of volumes behind, but I like to save things to binge read. I don't really want to kind of have to, wait for every new volume to come out to sort of read a bit more, and especially with Berserk because it's always on hiatus. It's quite a long time since the last volume came out, so yeah, really happy to have this, and again, a really easy kind of no-brainer. Similarly, my current favourite shonen, we have Black Clover 17. Now I am up to date. I haven't read this volume. There might be volume 18 out as well, I'm not sure, but yeah, this is like one of the most mind-blowing arcs of shonen in a while. Volume 16 broke me inside. I'm not going to say anything, there's no spoilers on this channel, but yeah, I immediately went and ordered this one because I wanted to know what happened next, so I'm definitely going to be reading this very, very soon. So next we have a series that I found from my Not Just For Girls video series, and that is My Love Story. So I picked up volume 3 and volume 4. This is a really, really funny shoujo series. It's one that the author of One Piece has said that many male readers will like, and if you want to go and watch my review / recommendation video for this series, then I will leave the link in this video currently. But yeah, this is probably my favorite shoujo series that I've ever read. It's there with Yona of the Dawn as well, but yeah, this one is just hilarious and I absolutely love it. So I got these volumes really cheap on World of Books, so if anyone's thinking about picking it up, then just keep your eye on that website. You should be able to find the first volume for about £3. So next we have one of the few newer series that I picked up. I don't tend to start new series all too often, but I've heard a lot of buzz around this one, and I don't even know how to pronounce it, and that is Witch Hat Atelier or Atelier, I don't know. But it looks like really cool. It looks a little bit kind of like a Studio Ghibli inspired magical series. I don't know a whole lot of what it's about, but again, this was on World of Books for really cheap, so I thought I might as well pick it up. The spine is misaligned, and I've heard everyone who says they've picked this up has said that the spines are misaligned, so I don't know why. Kodansha is normally pretty good for spines, but yeah, this one's just had a bit of a bad run of things lately, from what I've heard. But yeah, when I have read this, I might do a review, I might not. I mean, there's quite a few floating around online. But this is definitely one that I thought looked really, really interesting and something that I could get on board with. Okay, next is something that I'm hugely excited to own, and I still haven't got around to reading it yet, and this is the second new series that I've really picked up this last month, and that is Fire Force. So I got the first 2 volumes just to kind of give me a taster into the series. I really love Soul Eater, and this is the creator of Soul Eater. But I know a few people who haven't enjoyed this, and then I know a few people who really love it. So we'll see what it's like. It looks really cool. I mean, the art style is always like dependable, I think, with the author of Soul Eater. I really like their art style. But yeah, you know, this one looked really interesting. The anime looked really cool, but I'm a manga guy, so I just had to go and pick this one up. Okay, next, if you see my previous video, this will need no introduction, but that's Cats of the Louvre. So I got this as a present from my girlfriend for my birthday, and it's perhaps the most beautiful book that I own. It's a glossy finish at the top, and then it's matte at the bottom. It's hardback. It's relatively cheap for what it is. I think it's like, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's like 12 to 15 pounds, but yeah, it's Taiyo Matsumoto. Really, really quirky art style, really cool. And yeah, I have actually done a review video of this, so I'm not going to say too much, so go and check that out if you haven't already. Okay, the second hardback Viz signature edition that I got in the last month is Levius, or Levius, I'm not sure how you say this, but this is absolutely huge. All I know is this is like kind of like a mech, steampunk sort of series. I just thought it looked really cool. I mean, again, I don't know a whole lot about this, but those color pages are beautiful. Viz Media are really killing it at the minute with these signature editions. They're like some of my favorites that they've put out, and it's really like just a nice finish, really nice quality, and I'm pretty sure it's like stitched in as well, like the pages, they're not just glued. Could be wrong. No, they are glued, but they look stitched, and it looks like it's not gonna kind of like damage the spine by reading it, despite how like huge it is. So yeah, really excited for this. Again, not too expensive, so I will probably do a review of this when I get around to reading that. Okay, next, really quick one. I got the 4th volume of The Girl from the Other Side. This is a really unique series. I haven't really read anything quite like it, and the art style is just unlike anything else in manga at the minute. It feels very westernized, so it's very divisive. Some people hate this, some people love it. I clearly fall on the side of loving this series, and yeah, another cheap one. I mean, you can see there's a bit of damage at the top, but it's something that I'm willing to sacrifice considering it looks like it's mostly been unread, and it cost me a fraction of the price that I would normally pay. So yeah, that is The Girl from the Other Side. So next was an impulse buy, and I feel like I might regret this because for the most part it doesn't really look like something that I'm gonna like, but I hear a lot about it, so I thought I'd try it, and that is Dr. Stone. So I got the first 3 volumes just because I saw them cheap again. I mean, I have a weakness for bargains, and you know, when I see them I always think, what the hell, because I can sell these on. So if I don't like things, I don't just keep them. I will read these, and if you know they're not for me, then I will sell them on, and I usually tend to make a profit because of how cheap I can get stuff. But for the most part, the art looks interesting. It looks very kind of different to the sort of stuff that I like. I mean, I don't really go for the really cliche, like big-eyed sort of characters, but hey, you know, if it's something to do with science, then I think I might like it. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know whether I decide to keep these or not. Next up, It was another easy buy, and that is volume 7 and 8 of Haikyuu. This is the only sports manga that I'm reading at the moment, and it's the only sports manga that I've ever really read. So I actually really love this. I hear a lot of people say that it's, you know, one of their favorite shonen at the moment, and I can see why. There's a lot of interesting characters, there's a lot of great character development. From someone who's not really that into sports, it's done a great job of making me invested in these characters and want to know, you know, what happens to them along the way. And I've heard that the manga at the moment is taking a pretty huge turn. It might be getting towards some pivotal moment. I don't know. I've tried to avoid spoilers, but I'm really, really excited to continue with this series, and I'm really glad that I picked up these. Next, we have Attack on Titan. So you might be surprised that I picked these up. So I've actually got the first 6 volumes of Attack on Titan. Now, if anyone's seen any of my previous videos, you'll know that I dropped this series quite a while ago. I really wasn't that big of a fan of the art style. I thought it sort of grated on me a little bit, and I only ever in the past got to, I think it was volume 3 before I sold it on, and I think I was a little bit unfair. So I've recently got back into watching the anime, and it just really kind of spurred me on to like give this another try. I know that Hyla Manga is a huge fan of Attack on Titan, and she actually gifted me an Attack on Titan poster that she picked up from Japan. And I thought, you know what, I might have been a bit harsh. I hear a lot of people say that it's one of their favorite series, and you need to give it a chance because towards the end it just gets, you know, out of this world good, especially for the story. So yeah, I thought we would give it another try. So stay tuned, and I will let you know how I get on with Attack on Titan. Okay, so finally, I already owned the first 4 volumes of this series, but I saw it really cheap on eBay. And it's not complete, I've not got all of it, but I got a lot more volumes than I already had before, and it worked out that I actually got them ridiculously cheap for the price that I paid on eBay, and that's Soul Eater. So I'm really sorry if these are coming out in reverse order, but we've got up to volume 17. Now, I really love the cover art towards the end of these. I think that one's probably my favorite, or this one with Excalibur. But yeah, I love Soul Eater. I've finished the anime. I've read most of the manga online, but I never actually finished it all. I was sort of waiting and holding out for when I could finally collect it and read it at home, like at my own physical copy, because that's just what I prefer. But yeah, I had the first 4 volumes, and I saw these just going for a steal online. Someone clearly just didn't want them. And yeah, I have a huge, you know, fond memory of this series. It was one of the first anime that I ever watched. And I've got into quite heated debates with a few people about this series. You know, a lot of people don't really like it. A lot of people think that it's a bit rubbish. But I love this series. I think it's super cool. I think it's super original in its sort of like art style, and it's a little bit spooky at times. It's sort of like, I don't know, I've just not really read any shonen that are quite like it. I've never seen anything that had a moon with a face for a start, and it was just intriguing from the very first volume or the first episode, and I highly recommend, if you haven't read Soul Eater or watched it, then you should definitely go and check it out. And if you have watched the anime, then you should go and read the manga, because the anime stops at a certain point and has an anime-only ending. And even though I haven't read the ending to the manga, I hear it's way different. So yeah, you should check out the other one, depending on which one you've already read or watched. Okay, and finally now I'm going to reveal what the big purchase was this month. Now, I got this on the Facebook Marketplace. I have a lot to say about this, so let's just do a little quick reveal photo montage just to show you what I bought. So yeah, well done to anyone who guessed it, but I'm super happy to say that I finally own Gantz in its entirety, all of the single volumes from Dark Horse, and I also got the Gantz G sequel volumes 1 to 3. So yeah, I just want to go on the record to say that I hear that Gantz G is actually terrible, but the seller threw them in, you know, included in the price, so I thought, what the hell, we'll give it a go. And yeah, this was something that I found on Facebook Marketplace. It was pretty cheap considering I know that a few of these volumes go for £60 on their own because they're super, super out of print. I did have 3 of the omnibus editions, which I've since sold on. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally own these. I used to have up to volume 10, I think it was, of the single volumes, and then when I found out they were going out of print, I sold them on way cheaper than I should have. But yeah, for those who are wondering if Facebook Marketplace is a good place to buy manga, I mean, in my experience, I would say no. Unless you're going to go and pick the volumes up yourself from the seller, I would advise you not to buy on Facebook Marketplace. I paid for these up front because I was super, super excited to get them. I didn't want, anyone else to take them away from me. I know that Zach is really jealous that I actually picked these up because he saw the same listing as well. And yeah, I paid for them up front, and the seller took a long time to post them. And I mean a long time. Like, it took him a week before he even posted them. He messed me around a lot. He was messaging me back and forth all the time, kind of saying, oh, I'm gonna post them, or yeah, I'll post them tomorrow. And it was just really frustrating. I didn't feel like I had the security that I get on eBay, and I was super worried that he was just gonna take my money and run. But he thankfully didn't. They turned up, and as you can tell, this bookmark indicates where I'm actually up to with this at the minute. So saying that I was only on volume 10 when I sold them off, I've since read another 12 volumes, and these arrived like last week. So I feel like I've been doing quite well with this. It's a wild ride. For those who don't know anything about Gantz, it's just crazy sci-fi. It has everything you could ever want from, that sort of violent series. The bit that I've just read actually had velociraptors and vampires in it. I mean, it's just straight up batshit mental. But yeah, I'm so super happy to say that I finally own this. I own them in the single editions. There's no damage to them. I just love the way the spines look, and I'm always going to prefer this format to omnibus versions. I mean, no offense to those. If that's the only way you can read them, then, fair play, because that's what I was going to do. But ultimately, nothing beats this. And this, to me, is probably one of my favorites, if not my most treasured part of my collection now, because I've just wanted it for so long. And yeah, I am so, so happy that I can finally say that I own this. So yeah, that concludes the manga haul for last month. It is a lot, and I say this every month. I'm not planning on buying anything next month, but we all know that that's not true. So yeah, stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed already, then please, please do that. And if you haven't already, then hit that like button. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of my haul or what things you guys have been buying, and I will catch you next time. So peace.